Thanks for staying with us. Time now to take a look at top stories making headlines on Nigerian newspapers this Tuesday. We're beginning with the Blueprint newspaper, and it is leading with insecurity. Kidnappers swooping on 2 buses in Kogi. We just took that report earlier. But then there is a rider just before this headline saying 8 days after Governor Ododo's takeover, of course, leading the state, Kogi that is, this is happening. The passengers' whereabouts said to be unknown. Of course, we said earlier on that the police, as well as other security agencies and in support of hunters and the likes, are combing the bushes now in a bid to rescuing the affected passengers. Also, police arrested 6 suspects in Abuja. And to other stories on Blueprint, First Lady pledges 0.5 million naira each for women farmers to train 2,960. Charges governors' wives to ameliorate hardship. On Rivers crisis, Governor Fubara's loyalists denied bail. EFCC arrests GO over 1.3 billion naira fake grants as well as money laundering. And an announcement from Buckingham Palace, that is, saying King Charles III diagnosed with cancer. Right. Vanguard is next. Abducted, God is good mottos, ABC buses, passengers, kidnappers want 15 million naira to free my wife. A husband to one of the victims is lamenting there. On high cost of living, Niger residents protest against hunger, shut down major roads, and there is a picture story to that effect. On borrowing, Senate to raise customs 5.079 trillion naira revenue target. On the economic crisis, Labour Party says FG lacks ideas and should seek help. Next to check out is Leadership, the Leadership newspaper. Also bringing up this report about King Charles III diagnosed with cancer. He's been in and out of hospital over the past couple of days, wishing him speedy recovery. Kidnappers hijacked 2 Abuja-bound buses in Kogi State. 15.9 million students spend 159 billion naira on mobile data monthly. Now, CSOs to EFCC say name those laundering money for terrorists. But the biggest story there has to do with this report that food is cheapest in Nigeria despite complaints, say governors. 3 days after Kano, protesters in Niger say we are hungry and dying. Seek help, Labour Party tells Tinubu. On World Cancer Day, FG plans 6 more treatment centers. All right, let's quickly go on now to the next paper. Nigerian News Direct it is, leading with divestments, failure to domesticate production responsible for hike in drug costs. This is a position by the federal government as it also plans to roll out executive orders to mitigate prices of drugs. DMO, that's the Debt Management Office, offers 2 federal government of Nigeria savings bonds for subscription in February. 7 individuals face charges for alleged pipeline tampering in Lagos. CBN declares $2.4 billion of forex backlog invalid after forensic audit. Benue residents flee as armed men kill 10. And regarding the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway, Governor Abiodun of Ogun State says we are waiting for FEC approval to commence reconstruction. Next is the Punch. Nigerians seek relief as states get 3.3 trillion naira allocations. Protesters lament rising inflation. Governors rally federal government to avert food crisis. States LG received 3.3 trillion naira July to December. Quality of life degenerating, residents say. And now regarding the reports that King Charles has been diagnosed with cancer, there are a host of world leaders extending sympathies to him and wishing him a quick recovery as well. Among them, President Biden of the US, UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak sympathized with King Charles. Naira weakens at parallel market, rises at official window. Senate to raise customs 5 trillion naira revenue target. Tinubu Abiodun mourn as Jimmy Sholanke dies at 81. And finally with me, before Ibrahim takes over, is this Nigeria. Poultry farmers lament loss of 3 trillion naira investment to prevailing harsh economy. On the naira, CBN forensic audit uncovers $2.4 billion FX infraction. That's according to the Apex Bank's governor, Cardoso. Apex Bank, under new leadership, inherited $7 billion forex debt. FCT Minister Wike flags off dualization of 5-kilometer Kuje Township Road. Customs to give smuggled vehicles owners 3 months to legalize import documents. And, of course, Mina residents protest against high living costs and blocked roads.
Salient Times is the first with me. Non-existent entities got FX. Non-existent entities got FX. Cardoso says $2.4 billion transactions were invalid. Kogi Police Command confirms abduction of 14 passengers traveling to Abuja. 70-year-old man arrested for stabbing son to death following a land dispute. Saidi Balogun ex-wife Fathia Williams celebrates each other on birthday. King Charles III diagnosed with cancer to postpone public-facing duties. Court dismisses Fubara loyalists' bail requests. And above the masthead, Kano housewife sentenced to life imprisonment for killing her stepchild. Veteran actor Jimmy Sholanke is dead. Wanted kidnap kingpin Buhari Mohammed, 5 others arrested in Abuja hotel. Life has never been this difficult. Nigerians protest over hardship in Mina. That's about it for the Salient Times. Next is the first news. How we uncovered $2.4 billion fraud in FX claims. CBN governor says forex backlog not valid, drops. Our hard to embrace reforms will eventually make Naira stable. That's according to CBN. NAFDAC enforces ban on alcoholic drinks and sachets. Explosion raises 3-story building, injures child, grandparents in Lagos. EFCC arrests General Overseer over 1.3 billion naira fraud. Nigeria, 17 other countries not qualified for 2025 U.S. lottery program. Legendary Nigerian actor Jimmy Sholanke dies at 82. Governor Abiodun mourns him, declares late poet a worthy ambassador. King Charles III diagnosed with cancer, Buckingham Palace. Primary election, APC prunes 29 Edo Guber aspirants to 4. TCN supplies 2,686.135 megawatts to 11 discos after restoring grid. Federal government finally bans alcoholic beverages in small sachets. And Niger residents protest high cost of food and living. Business Day newspaper is next. CBN sets sights on outstanding $2.2 billion FX backlog. Lingering court cases limit Nigeria's oil sector prospect. Domestic fuel supply unlikely to tame rising airfares. Old problems in part sector keep Nigerians in darkness. That's for the Business Day newspaper. Next is the Nation newspaper. EFCC freezes 3 billion naira trace to Sirika's brother's account. Ex-minister's civil servant sibling failed to execute 8.06 billion naira contract. Protest rocks Mina. Governor people mopping up food items to create scarcity. Forex reforms attracting FDIs, says Cardoso. And insecurity, NCC security operatives working to tackle challenges. You see that on page 28. And Oyo Kaduna Cross River to share $540 million EFDB fund. Edo 2024, 8 PDP aspirants reject delegates election. 9 polling officials missing. And APC prunes aspirants to 4. Jimmy Sri Lanka dies at 81. Supply hitches disrupt petroleum distribution in Lagos. And federal government offers 2 bonds. That's about it for the Nation newspaper. Next is, okay, there's one here on the bottom strip. Navy arrest Spain-bound stowaways. That's on page 5. Next is the Daily Independent. Nigeria needs to borrow 21 trillion naira in 2024 to avert bankruptcy. Basic education. Nigeria experiencing learning crisis. UBEC. Tariff hike. Exchange rate volatility destroying our business. That's a clearing agent. Hard times will soon fade away. First Lady Tinubu. Also, Senate considers review of customs 5 trillion naira target upwards second quarter. AMCON not planning to liquidate aero contractors. That's according to CEO. And climate change, NNPC Limited, US, Deloitte collaborate on greenhouse gas emission reduction from OML 34. Niger residents protest high cost of living, block roads. Labour Party asks Tinubu to seek help, says condition unmanageable. Police raid kidnappers hideout in FCT, arrest suspects. And above the masthead, escalating insecurity. Sage Ubani call for state police through federalism. Say current policing structure ineffective. Urge use of drones. Nance flays federal government over rising inflation. Threatens street protests. Next is the Guardian newspaper. Building materials, labor spike construction costs by 200%. That's on page 6. And hoodlums disrupt Fubara's Supreme Court victory celebration. FCCPC fumes as loan apps violate regulation amid rising payment defaults. Women farmers to get 5 million naira each from Remi Tinubu. EFCC arrests pastor over 1.3 billion naira fake grants, money laundering. King Charles diagnosed with cancer, Buckingham Palace discloses. And also restrained from wild celebrations if South Africa loses, Nigerian High Commission warns. Poor citizens protest high cost of living, hardship in Mina, Oshun. NAFDAC says over 50% of imported pharmaceuticals. NAFDAC says over 50% of imported pharmaceuticals certificates are fake. That's about it for the Guardian newspaper. Last but not least is Business AM. Nigeria's insurance industry sees changes as top 10 insurers post 472.6 billion naira premium. Data show increasing growth of life business. Indigenous insurers not yielding leadership. Bankers move into insurance to dominate. Importers' woes worsen as news tightens on duty foreign exchange rate. Workers not saving enough to retire well. And climate change and Africa economies, you see that under the comment. Also, that's populism, great replacement of economics. And then how to align what you say with what you do. You see that on Executive Knowledge Series of the Business AM. That's about it for all the newspapers for review today.
All right, Ibrahim Shita there. We have a lot of stories to feed on during the course of the day. Of course, there is one major worry that is sticking out, and that has to do with the kidnap of about at least 14 Abuja-bound travelers. That apparently dominated all the papers this morning, with divergent reactions talking about what efforts are being done to see that they are rescued unhurt. And well, ABC has spoken. That's one of the motor companies affected has spoken that they are doing all they can, working with security agencies, obviously, to, also play their part and ensure the rescue of the passengers. But then this also underscores the huge task before government, states, local, state, and federal, if I may add. All right. We don't have much time, but of course we will continue to keep up with TVC News to get all the latest regarding these developing stories in the